Finished my motor swap on my big Ford, and I bought a car for a figure-8 demolition derby car next year. Figured I'd do a little series on how to build it. So this may be built a little bit different than other cars because it's not going to be a derby car, but I'm going to try to incorporate most of the derby car into it. The only thing that will be a little bit different is I'm allowed to do a full roll cage. I'm allowed to reinforce the rear suspension, reinforce the front tie rods and K-frame. And but really, I'm just going to do the same thing. They're built to impact and thrill show rules in Ontario, Canada, which allows me to weld the door shut in 6 spots, weld the trunk shut in 6 spots. I'm going to tuck the rear end on this thing a bit, just to help my... It's going to be my girlfriend's figure-8 car, so we're going to tuck the rear end and crease it all the way down. We're going to put a rear bar in it, just so it makes the judges happy. We're going to do the front bar, and we're going to take a Jeep YJ bumper and put it on the front and get it ready for next derby season. Now this is going to be a strictly figure-8 car. It's going to be too reinforced to be able to run any derbies. So first things first with derby cars, we stripped out all the interior. Now when you do this, it's pretty simple. Don't cut any wires. Don't cut any grounds. Just take out the interior of the derby car. You can cut all the seat belts. I like to cut them as long as possible because I use them in other derby cars. The only thing you have to keep is your driver's side seat belt and your driver's side seat. I took it out to take the carpet out. Now this one here is going to be a figure-8 car, so the e-brake has to work to get you around the corners. But it is a sunroof car, so I will be doing stuff up there to cover up the sunroof for if you guys got a sunroof car. They'll go through on how to move the battery, how to remove the gas tank. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the stock fuel lines on this or the just run new ones. I have all the stuff to run new ones, so I'm probably going to run new ones. But it's extremely simple. We already have a gas tank made up from last year's derbies. It's right here. And then the fuel lines are just leaning up over there in the corner. Got a couple fuel tanks. But first things first, strip the interior. Get rid of all the stuff you don't need, like this, all the interior up there, the carpets on the floor. I won't be taking out any of the glass until spring because the car is going to be stored outside, but I'll do the full cage inside of it. I'll get everything done, battery moved, gas tank moved, so when spring comes we just have to break the glass, take it all out. But first things first, take out the interior. Now a lot of you newcomers to derbies will take all this stuff to the dump, which costs money. Best thing to do is throw it off to the side, and when the derby car's done, refill it like this one. This is the last year's FSS car, built to Impact's rules, and you just fill it with all your derby car scrap. And you take this to the scrapyard, and they will take it with all the interior in it. So to save money, just take all of your interior, throw it in a pile, and when the car's done, fill your car back full of it, and it will save you money. I'll walk you through where this is going to get donuts on it. I'll do creasing to it. Still a lot to do, but just started on it, right? We'll keep you guys informed. The #1 death for Cavaliers is not anything to do with structural at all. It is nothing to even do with the motor. The motors take one hell of a kicking. That motor mount gives out usually because everybody knows it's there, so everybody aims for it. But the main killer of these Cavaliers and Sunfires is that. It is the computer for the car, which is located right there. If you are going to run one of these cars in a derby and you don't want to finish dead last, move that. There's enough wiring in the wiring harness once you get off all the plastics to run all the wiring, stock wiring, and throw it right up there. Out of the way. It's even in a nice little box with rubber mounted so it doesn't get shocked. You just bolt that right down to your dash, throw a garbage bag over it, it never gets wet, and honestly it is the #1 death in these cars. If you want your car to last, move that.